Yeah, it's all a scam.
I very much appreciate Republican leaders did.
Yeah, that's strong.
To my desk. I think it is a signal of how Washington.
No, I've been watching some great. Can you get YouTube on here?
It's a sour lemon puss.
With spending bills.
Can you get YouTube on this TV?
No,
Oh,
I can, but I don't know how to access it.
Oh, dude. That's all I watch is YouTube.
So this is just the first
YouTube and Netflix.
December before the Christmas break. The appropriators are going to have to do their job. They're going to have to come up with spending bills. But this provides them the guideposts and the baseline. With
That's good shit, man.
And I'm confident
Holy fuck.
they can get it done on time. And there's no better Christmas present for the American people because...
I thought it was Wallace in Wonderland. I was like, what is Wallace in Wonderland? Not Alice, Wallace. Oh, let's watch some country music. You ever watch country music? I bet these videos are horrible. They still show videos on here, right? Yeah. Break up in a small town? Oh.
That's classic country. You don't get much more country.
That's total. Oh. Look at this video, man. There's a lot of money in this fucking thing.
So it's crazy. I told you, Ricardo was saying the same thing. That he's tired of Howard.
Oh yeah, he's not putting Ricardo on either. Him and Ian.
I told or Ian.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, Ian, he'd always fuck over Ian, but now he's like, he's putting up really fucking shitty openers, like horrible.
People that are loyal, not funny.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know that. Yeah. Well, people that don't argue with him or something, or.
Like who?
Well, last weekend it was this Aisha Renee. You know who that is? Oh, she goes up there and just like. She introduced me the other day, fucks up my...
How do you fuck up your name?
Just say me... Well, they just say Mike Kennedy. Right, so she just said Mike Kennedy, but like... She never like asked me what my credits were or anything. She just like brings me up like, this next guy, he...
How long is she?
I've worked with him from Phoenix. I've worked with a bunch of Phoenix. He's done his thing. He's done his thing in L.A. He's done the thing in New York. And then she's like, you could... make sure you give him a round of applause. You can throw food at him if you want. No, don't throw food at him. But you can throw food at me, I'll be in the back, so I'm hungry. Like, she does a joke in the middle of my fucking intro. And so I'm like walking up the stage, I have to turn back around. Because I usually like to get right up there on stage, right? Like, I don't like to, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, let's go. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
Like, everybody else that goes up before me, I just go like, God, you guys are fucking, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah.
But that's what Howard's taught is like this totally like...
He teaches them bad habits. Like,
every bad habit, Howard does.
I know, it gets you far at stand-up Scottsdale, but the second you go out of town or somewhere, you're like, people are like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And it's really bad. That's why...
Yeah. But guys don't do like the intros right, they don't do... But yeah, they don't do like the shit that you're supposed to do.
And you'll be all like, guys like... I use Palladino as an example of the most because he's like the biggest example of it.
Yeah.
Is like guys like him, they get these big heads about like learn comedy lingo and stuff like that, but then they go other places and it just looks disastrous.
Well, like the whole fucking thing with the fucking shit. What was it? I had it in my head. Or something. Oh, about like the light. Oh my God, the fucking light. I have headliners all the time go like, there's no like fucking light? And it's like, well, it's just kind of like, I'm like, how much time do you want to do?
Right.
I'm like, they're just like, I'll just tell them, they want us off by 9:10 to 9:15. I go, what time do you want to light at? And they'll be like, okay, then 9:05. I'm like, okay, because that's pretty much, depending on what time you go on stage, you know what I'm saying though? I always go, dude, you might not get on stage until fucking 8:45.
Right, yeah.
Because Howard might do 30 minutes before you.
Yeah.
And they're like, you're shitting me. And I'm like, no.
He's an opportunist too, because if it's a good crowd that's easy,
Yeah.
he'll stay on longer.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a shitty crowd,
He doesn't go up.
I'm not going to go up.
You know who he learned that from, right?
Sean.
Everything that he knows about stand-up, he learned from fucking Sean. Sean taught him how to be He's doing Sean's fucking thing
Know
now.
something? Back in those days, I used to do. We all used to do.
He doesn't even pay dudes. Sean actually pays guys.
I know.
He doesn't pay anybody now.
That's deplorable. Like that's
fucking
fine,
crazy.
You know, if you got your weird quirks and oddities as an owner, fine, they all do. But that's deplorable to not pay your comics. You
Yeah.
know, like that's just there's no excuse for that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Back in those days, like when I used to do the comedy spot, like on the weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
I never wore that comedy spot shirt or worked for Sean.
Oh yeah, I never did it. Yeah,
I never
yeah.
did that shit. Ricardo did it. Kango did it. Howard did it.
Did they really?
Oh yeah, they were all dude. That's why it's.
Oh, they sucked major dick over there, did
dude, yeah. And Howard was always telling me, he's like, bro, he's like, you'd make it so much farther if you stopped doing all those other places. You know, I'd be like, what do you mean make it farther? This is Phoenix. Like, look, there's no, you know.
Yeah.
And so,
see, that's why those two guys fucking hate each other so much.
yes, because it's a daddy son issue.
Right. He's trying to pull that with me, and I'm like, dude, I don't fucking
Here's the
care.
thing, dude. When he started stand up sangria, right?
Right.
He didn't start it. What happened was, I don't know if you ever knew this. It all came about because he had a high school reunion or something to that effect, and he was going to put on a comedy show there. Sean found out and goes, "You can't do that." Like he took it super serious, and Howard was like, "Are you serious?" It's just a. And this is when Howard was like up Sean's ass.
Oh, right. Okay.
So this is back when.
Yeah, I could see him doing that.
Right. So.
Because Sean ruled the fucking world.
Right. So Howard is like mortified. Like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
Like, you know what? And Sean's like, "Yeah, if you do that show, like, don't bother coming back." And Howard was like, "Okay," and he did the show, and Sean, you know, whatever, played that card, and Howard ended up just putting on a show at Stand Up Sangria. Sean created his own worst monster, you know, and Howard has created a couple of his own worst monsters, like Nick Paul, you know, leaving and going over to House of Comedy. You know? But
then Nick did the same fucking thing. He's doing a version of Howard up there, and they got sick of that shit.
People,
you know, he's down to one night a month now at House of Comedy.
well,
Nick Paul is. Because, dude, those are negative shows, and they just don't. People don't want to go out and be like.
People forget to have fun in shows. Like when I used to do Baja Tilly's, like that's why I didn't make myself or Robbie Fox's. Remember, I never made myself the name of or the face of those places, and I'm careful not to because you want it to be fun and not about you. You know, John Henry, I think, does a good job of staying pretty.
Oh right, does
pretty
he?
Neutral. I think Kristen Davis does a good job of staying out of horse shit. You know, but as far as like the comedy clubs though, but okay, Howard just is Sean Dillon. Like he just, and you know, I was good friend. I am good friends with him. You know.
Well, the way Mullen runs things, he's like, dude, yeah, like you know,
Totally normal.
just have a good time, and it's just like it's like a fucking like when I love when
so much fun.
if it's like an adult, it feels like you know like how Howard always says it's an adult fucking talent show.
Who says that?
Howard always says that about Sean's place, you know, that it's like that's what the comedy spot
That's
shows
what
are.
his place is.
So fine.
What do you
They're
think
all
the
that's,
coffee room is?
yeah, that's totally.
Howard, you know, Ricardo had a good point the other day when we went to the Improv to go see Marty Schultz.
In clinical trials, most adults saw 75% skin clear.
Ricardo said
The majority were clear or almost clear
He said,
in 4 months.
Humira can lower your ability to
Ooh,
hold,
I'm getting
including tuberculosis.
fucking dizzy.
Serious, sometimes fatal